Okay, hello everyone. My name is Grecy, a fifth semester student in the English Education Study Program Teaching Training Education Faculty at Universitas Tanjung Pura. So my purpose in making this video is to fulfill the task of the cross-culture understanding course in class A1 plus, which was taught by my lecturer, Ibu Sermiati. In this video, I will give you some information about the value of work, compare, and I will to compare both of these. And for your information, I have interviewed the informant, and then he is a soldier in Indonesia. I managed to collect some answer from the source. The soldier served in the 6th Yonsifor Battalion located in Mempawah district. The reserve person has served as a soldier for 3 years, starting from October 2020 until this year, especially in 2022. He was a member of the Jihandak section, which was tasked with taming explosive. The resource person has served twice in securing the visit of the President and Vice President of the Republic Indonesia of to Pontianak and the Kijing International Port in Mempawah District. The resource person served under the 12th Tanjung Pura Kodam unit. So this research also is an immigrant who comes from Toraja, South Sulawesi, and he is willing to be interviewed regarding his work and the work values that he felt during this time as a soldier. So I gave several questions to these interviewees regarding how he valued his work and his work values. So for the first questions I asked, what is your goal in working as a soldier? So the source's goal is to become a soldier because he wants to devote himself to the unitary state of the Republic of Indonesia and he wants to make his parents happy. So on the other hand, in America, most members work just to fulfill the mandatory military requirements for teenagers who are 18 years old. So very few members are truly devoted to the country. Based on the search of Quora.com, the United States military has many recruitment office and career center and does promotions. For example, they are performing aerobatics by the USF Aerobatic Thunderbird team and US Navy's Blue Angels to its citizens so that they are interested in joining the military. This is very different from Indonesia, where the military simply use a banner attached to the Koramil to announce the opening of registration. So there will be a lot of teenagers who will register and give themselves to the stats. And then I also asked about how do you make a living from your work as a soldier? The resource person said that for now there is no one person that he must to make a living. However, he sent a half of his salary to his parents in order to help ease his sister's school fees. Similarly, in Indonesia, American soldiers work to provide for their families and for themselves. However, soldiers in America do not need to provide for their children's education since 7 years old because they already get education insurance for family members. And then I have a third questions for this sort of person. So the question is, how do you define your job as a soldier in Indonesia? So the research person interprets his work in a way that he always feels truth of the world. He said not everyone could even have 1,000 of people enlist but did not pass, did not qualify to become a soldier. On the other hand, in America, as much as 60% of the population interprets working as a soldier as forced work. This is because almost all teenagers there do not want to become a soldier, but because of the mandatory military program implemented by this country, they have to be forced to follow the selections from the age of 18 to 25 years old. Therefore, teenagers who take part in the selection will feel lucky if they do not pass the requirements until they are 25 years old, and automatically they do not follow military service and do not become a soldier. So I have another questions that I asked these sort persons to tell me. So the question is, who do you work for? Is it for the country or for your family? And please explain it. There is a person said that he worked for the state. He said that devoting himself to the country and participating in protecting the Indonesian state was his dream since childhood. On the other hand, once again in America, most American soldiers work for international interests. This is because the US Army is the strongest army in the world, so they contribute to a lot of peace issues throughout the world. For example, the National Guard of the United States is in charge of maintaining peace in the air defense of all countries. And then for the fifth questions, I also asked, do you love your job as a soldier in Indonesia? So the research person said that he really loves his job as a soldier in Indonesia or TNI because with this job everything has been prepared by the state such as official housing and the month's salary. So with this job he only focused on devoting himself to the Republic of Indonesia. So let's look in America. So for those who have passed the selection for military service in the USA Army, they will automatically love their work, even they will consider their work very important and valuable more than their family and even themselves. This love for work is also supported by the provision of great incentive and the provision of life insurance for those who want to serve a member of the US Army. And then the sixth questions is, during your work as a soldier, do you gain a lot of valuable knowledge and experience? So as long as the resource person works as a soldier, a lot of knowledge is obtained, such as the science of survival in the middle of the forest without eating, and then they also study science of the war, and then they also study the science of killing something dangerous. So the valuable experience the reserve persons got was that he had participated in joint training with the American Army and had trained in the forest for a week without food. So the soldiers must eat whatever is in the forest. And let's look in America. So based on Jovan Sekori, a young Surabayan who became a Navy soldier in the United States, he said that some of the advantage of being an American soldier were that he got the opportunity for life insurance, education according to competence for free. In addition, Jovan also gained valuable experience sailing in Singapore, Ecuador, Panama, Colombia, and Costa Rica. Then I have another questions to this informant. So the next question is, does a soldier in Indonesia get the benefit? Please explain it. So, according to this source, the army in Indonesia gets several benefits, including basic salary, position allowance, wife allowance, child allowance, and pension allowance. So, let's look in the American soldier. What happened of them? Soldier in America do not get many benefits like in Indonesia. The soldier in America only get a basic salary and pension benefits with a large value. However, American soldiers get many benefits such as housing allowance, health insurance, life insurance, and then education and training. So the next question is, does a soldier in Indonesia have a pension system? So the informant said that the army in Indonesia implemented a pension system, namely at the age of 58 years old. So in America, teenagers age start from the 18 until 25 years old are required to register for the military service program. So everyone who is conscripted in the military will get a contract for 8 years and divided into active duty and reserve. The length of the time they work depends on active duty, usually for 4 years. The shortest is 2 years, or the maximum is 6 years. The remainder of the year they work will serve as reserved elements for the remainder of the year the contract expires. After the active duty period is over, soldiers in America will enter into IRR, or Reserve Reviews and Individual Ready Reservists. For the reservist period, soldiers in America will return to normal life. However, they must join military training in 1 month on weekend. Then for the next questions, I also ask, how long do you work in one day? Are there overtime hours in military life? If so, how often are you asked to work overtime? Do you get extra pay or incentive as long as you work overtime? So according to the search, the Indonesian army does not depend on time. They are always ready when they need it. For example, a commander needs help to work at night. They always must be ready. So there is no need for overtime. If the incentive in Indonesia is managed by the state which regulate all the welfare of a soldier. So a soldier in Indonesia does not worry about an incentive. So let's look in the soldier in America. So regarding overtime hours, soldier in America have similarity with soldier in Indonesia, but were asked to always be on standby for 24 hours. However, for the incentive, find the American Army has a very large amount to pay, namely about $50,000 America for new recruits if they are willing to work for 6 years. This is because the U.S. government has had difficult recruiting soldiers in recent years, and it is a way of taking people to consider joining the army. And what are the lessons that I gave from the working as a soldier is that in the work of work, it is very important to pay attention to work ethics because in life, soldiers uphold a very structured life that is divided from the top positions to the lowest position. So in addition, a high sense of responsibility must be owned by a soldier even if they have to sacrifice their lives for a country. A soldier must also have patience for work because they must be ready to work regardless of time and must be in any situation if needed by the states. And lastly, a soldier must have a professional attitude because they are tasked with providing peace and tranquility in society. Therefore, soldier must act professionally without having to side with anyone. So, in conclusion, in doing work, we should not consider work as a burden. We must always enjoy the work we have, and must always instill a sense of gratitude for the work. And keep in mind that our work is worship, so the work we have can benefit to the others. So, in the future, I want to be a teacher, and I think the job of a teacher is noble job. I can help many children to develop their knowledge, so in addition, I can share the knowledge that I have with others. Even if I wish I would like to be assigned to teach in the border areas, because I think the children there really need the help of the educator to so that they are not easily fooled by strangers. So uh, what are the work culture that I will develop is a sense of the patience, responsibility, and discipline. So, as a teacher, I must have a patience to deal with the students. The teacher must patiently teach students to understand the learning material. Teacher must be able to process their emotion when dealing with students. In addition, a sense of responsibility must also be developed in a teacher in any situation. We are responsible for keeping students in school. And lastly, I also have to develop a work culture related to discipline. Being a teacher must be disciplined with time and also school rules. By developing a disciplined attitude toward this, students will imitate their teacher, and gradually they will live a disciplined life just like us as a teacher. So, everyone, this is my explanation about work values between Indonesia and America. Hopefully, all this information can help us to understand the work we will have in the future. Goodbye.